So we should be streaming right now. I think that we have everything set up. I'm just going to see if the stream is actually on, which it is. So this is a nice start. Sometimes it's hard to tell. I'm just going to put some cozy music from one of my favorite creators, and it is Mewmore. I think this person makes a lot of really good music, and I use them in all my videos, and so today I'll be using that as well. Just setting up the music here. You all should be able to... Okay. Now you should be able to hear this. Yep. Maybe even too much. Now you should be able to hear this more comfortably. So, we are going to be diving into the Houston's regional event, and I even got a little of a new toy. Hey, can you battle my team? Perhaps I can battle your team. But now we are currently going to be talking about the Houston Regionals best teams. And later I'll be going on Showdown, trying out some teams, and maybe even battling my viewers. But thank you so much, Nurkan, for showing up to this stream. And yeah, if you stay around, if you stick around for a little while, we might actually battle. What regulation do you want to battle in? By the way, I always do this at the beginning of the stream, just plugging the channel here. Okay, regulation F. Oh, that is great, because we are reviewing regulation F, and I have a cool regulation F team. But like I said, it's going to be, if you don't mind, after analyzing these teams, if that is okay. But yeah, we already have a couple of people here, so yeah, let's dive into this. First of all, we are now analyzing Lucy Fleming's team, and Lucy Fleming's team is really interesting, and this is mainly because Lucy brought Primarina and Landorus, which are uncommon Pokemon. At least Landorus Therian is quite uncommon in Regulation F. We usually see Landorus Incarnate just because that Pokemon is extremely good against Raging Bolt due to the Life Orb and the sheer force boosts, right? It can almost kind of destroy Assault Vest Raging Bolts, but not only that, it can also counteract the Calm Mind Raging Bolts, as you will be doing more damage than the Raging Bolt can then recover or sustain through, right? But Landorus Therian with the Choice Band is, in my opinion, actually still really good in Regulation F, even though we have clear counters to this Pokemon like Intimidate, right? But this Pokemon gives a lot to this team. Not only is it a Pokemon with Intimidate, which is one of the best abilities in the game, right? But it's also a Pokemon that is a ground type with access to both single target ground type moves and spread ground type moves. This is really important because the ground typing, it's a lot of really good Pokemon in this meta. You can actually counteract Goldengo, you can counteract Raging Bolt, Incineroar, Chi-Use, you can counteract a lot of Pokemon. And then not only that, but there still is really common, right? So the ground typing is absolutely phenomenal. Regaf, I'm almost at 1300 Hilo in Regaf. Oh, that is great, Nurkan. That is great. That is a great rating. Then Lucy also brought the Primarina. So Primarina is also an interesting Pokemon. It was a Pokemon that a lot of people used in Regulation F in the first one, right? In the 1.0. And that was because of Primarina's good typing of Water and Fairy, right? It's a really good typing that can hit a lot of Pokemon for super effective damage, which is fantastic. But then a lot of people also use this Pokemon because it's a bulky Pokemon and has access to Haze. And so, yeah, Haze is really strong. I don't think it's that relevant in this meta right now, just because we don't see a lot of Dondozos, we don't see a lot of setup. It's more like immediate damage or positioning with spread type moves, right? And so Haze lost a little bit of importance, but it's a good tech move to have, especially in such a bulky Pokemon, right? I think that Primarina is really, really good. It does have the Citrus Berry, making this Pokemon even more bulky, which is fantastic. Then we have some really good Pokemon that we already know of, right? We have the Thundurus here with the Focus Sash and Terra Ghost. This makes me assume that this Pokemon is actually like max speed and max special attack, just because it is holding the Focus Sash, or at least has enough bulk to survive Urshifu's Surging Strikes. And that is also something that I personally wouldn't be concerned about, because we do have access to the Sunny Day on these Tornadoes instead of the usual Rain Dance, right? So that is also something that we can look to. But this Tornadoes is fantastic. This Tornadoes pairs really well with the Landorus, especially because by pairing these two Pokemon, you can turn 1 just use Tailwind and Earthquake your opponent, and this is especially useful if your opponent does not lead with a Rillaboom or an Incineroar. So that is really, really important, and I think it's a really strong lead. A lot of people used the Ursaluna, the normal Ursaluna with Tornadoes to kind of simulate this, but the thing about Ursaluna is that it takes 1 turn to get stronger. That is because the Flame Orb does not activate immediately, and therefore it is unable to activate its powerful ability of Guts, right? So that is really important. This duo here, Landorus and Tornadoes, I think it's really fascinating. But not only that, we also have the Chi-Yu, right, with the Tornadoes, with the Sunny Day and Tailwind. And this is fantastic. Chi-Yu is phenomenal. The only downside of using Chi-Yu is that this move is not accurate, this move is not accurate, and this move is not accurate. So a lot of moves can miss on Chi-Yu. That is just something that makes me not want to use Chi-Yu, just because you can actually miss, right? But it's still a really good Pokemon. Fire and Dark, the Fire and Dark typing are really good in the regulation. We have good spread moves with the Heat Wave, and then a really cool thing is that you basically have a delete button with Heat Wave. If you don't think you need to utilize Heat Wave, you do still have a single target move with Flamethrower. But one of the coolest things is that Chi-Yu actually has some damage reduction with this Snarl, which with Beads of Ruin and the Choice Specs is going to be doing a lot of damage. So Nurken says, I have a counter to 4 mons on this team. Oh, that is fantastic. That is pretty good, Nurken. I think this team is also one of the strongest teams. Of course, it made top 8, right? But I think it's a really consistent team as well. We have a lot of space to play around with leads, right? Especially with the Farigiraf. You could even, for example, lead Landorus, for example, with Farigiraf, to pretend to block a Fake Out, to then immediately switch into the Tornadoes and be able to just rip an Earthquake, and next turn, for example, go for a Tailwind Earthquake again. So I think it's a really strong team. And then we have one of the most powerful Pokemons in this format, which is Raging Bolt. This team, in my opinion, is a team that is quite weak to Urshifu and Tornadus. We have Landorus that is weak to it, we have the Chi-Yu. Giraffe doesn't really want to also tank a Mystic Water Surging Strikes, right? So all of these Pokemon just really dislike that. And Thundurus, you can argue that it's kind of weak against the Urshifu. The good thing about this team is that you have the Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt is really important because it has access to Thunderclap, a priority electric type move that can basically just counter Urshifu, right? You force Urshifu to terrestrialize, and then if the Urshifu terrestrializes, you can actually capitalize with your other Pokemon, be it the Chi-Yu or the Landorus, if the Urshifu goes for the Terrasteel, which is the most common Terra type on Urshifu at this moment. So that is really important to note. We also have speed control with the Electro Web here on the Raging Bolt, and this is fantastic because with the Assault Vest you have a lot of added bulk to Raging Bolt, but you lose the ability to protect, right? You don't have access to protect. And then you could put an additional move onto Raging Bolt, right? You have the common ones of Thunderbolt, Draco Meteor or Dragon Pulse, and Thunderclap. Those are the main ones. Since you cannot run Protect, a lot of Raging Bolts actually go or for the Snarl or Electro Web. I really like the Electro Web though, because you do have a lot of Pokemon that like to be faster than the whole field, that being the Landorus and the Chi-Yu. So if you can actually position this Raging Bolt well, and if this Pokemon is allowed to just spam Electro Webs, you can really enable your team for success, in my opinion. So this was Lucy Fleming's team. It's a really solid team. I'm only weak to RG, so Raging Bolt and Chi-Yu. Okay, so that is good. I mean, you don't usually see Chi-Yu, so that is really good for your team, right? Now, Raging Bolt is worrisome, but you have a lot of Pokemon that can actually counter Raging Bolt. For example, you have Ogerpon, right? Any form of Ogerpon is good to counter Raging Bolt. Personally, I like Ogerpon Cornerstone, and with the Follow Me, you can protect your whole team from the Thunderclap. And if your opponent goes for the Thunderbolt, well, it's not super effective against Ogerpon, right? And it's resisted in forms of Ogerpon like the Cornerstone, the Teal Mask Ogerpon, and also the Earth Flame Ogerpon. So I think Ogerpon is really good in this scenario. I'm kinda worried about Dondozo Tatsugiri and Swords Dance Ogerpon, which is why I have Skeledirge. Okay, that does make sense. You have Unaware Skeledirge. I suppose it has Unaware. Is that it? No, it's not. That's not what I wanted to say. It is Unaware Skeledirge. But I suppose you have also Yawn on that Skeledirge. I think that's a viable set, in my opinion. I think it's a cool little set with Skeledirge. Okay. So let's move along to the other team. Stopping here for a second, have a good steam boss about to go on to an interview. We'll be back afterwards. I'm wishing you the best of luck, Konami. I hope everything goes as well as it can for you. I'm really happy for you, and you made a lovely video. To everyone that is here in the chat with us, Konami Please Nerf is a Pokemon YouTube channel, or has a Pokemon YouTube channel, and it made a fantastic video about Galarian Moltres, and it was just a fantastic video, Regulation I video, and it was a fantastic video. I really enjoyed it, and if you guys can check out Konami, that would mean the world. So, best of luck to the interview, Mr. Konami, and we will be talking after the interview. I wish you the best of luck. So, now that we spoke about Lucy Fleming's team, we can actually go and talk about the World Champions team. And this is Giovanni Shishk's team. Giovanni is a person that usually really likes to use these more like, no, I wouldn't say conventional teams, but in a sense conventional teams. This is just it's good team, okay? It's reliable. All of these Pokemon are like the old reliable meme from SpongeBob, and I mean, it's a fantastic team. Giovanni made a top 8 with his team. Not only proves how good Giovanni is, but also this team. So let's check this team out. First of all, we have the Raging Bolt. This Raging Bolt is a little bit different from the previous one, only here on the Terra type. So Lucy Fleming's team had a more defensive Raging Bolt, right? As we can see. Oh, I'm not being able to, sorry. Okay, as we see, Lucy has a more defensive Raging Bolt, right, with the Terra Fairy. This makes a lot of sense, as it gives you a really good matchup against Urshifu, right, and also other Raging Bolts. So Giovanni's team is a little bit different with the Terra Electric, with the Terra Electric Raging Bolt. So this makes this Raging Bolt a lot more offensive, right? And with the Terra Electric, I may suppose, or I'm just going to suppose, that this Raging Bolt is way more offensive, meaning that it has a lot of more special attack investment than Lucy's Raging Bolt, but it's still really good. Now, this Raging Bolt is actually really weak against Landorus, both forms of Landorus, right? So it is something that Giovanni has to keep in mind, but that is why Giovanni brings the Ogerpon Wellspring, not only to protect the Incineroar and Urshifu from Surging Strikes and Fluttermane from a Choice Scarf Rapid Strikes Urshifu, right? This is really important, but also really helps Raging Bolt deal with Landorus. Ogerpon is actually a Pokemon that can naturally outspeed Landorus, right? And this is really important. I have a Terra Fairy, Citrus Fairy, Torch Song, Shadow Ball, Terra Blast Protect on Skeletorch. Quick question, is Terra Fire Rillaboom good? Yes, Terra Fire Rillaboom is fantastic. It's fantastic. And that is just because it gives you a good matchup against Incineroar, it gives you a good matchup against what's his name, against Goldango, right? It also helps you deal with Landorus, especially with Landorus Incarnate, right? It's really good. And then you actually don't have to be afraid of Rapid Strikes Urshifu, because with Rillaboom you have access to priority Grassy Glide, right? So you are never in a like a danger, right? You are not in a really dangerous position if you go for the Terra Fire. That is my opinion. And there were regulations or events where Goldango was really common, right? And so the Terra Fire Rillaboom was just a really good check into a Goldango, that being in Regulation F, right? The one that we are talking about now, but also in Regulation H, okay? So that's something you can keep in mind. Like I was saying, Ogerpon Wellspring, really good, helps the whole team a lot, because this whole team is quite weak to Urshifu Rapid Strikes. If the Raging Bolt goes down and you don't have Ogerpon, this team can get completely swept by Urshifu Rapid Strikes. So adding the Ogerpon here with the Follow Me is extremely important. Giovanni went for the Ornleech on the Ogerpon, which is going to make this Ogreborn artificially more bulky, right? Because you can just keep recovering HP with Earnleech instead of losing HP with the Wood Hammer. So that is also something to note. I don't worry about all of them except Lando Incarnate because I have Assault Vest. Okay. Mine can take at least like 1.5 make it range. So yep, that is fantastic. I still think that the Terrafire is fantastic on Rillaboom. It's really good. Gives you a lot of good matchups. So if that is something that is important to you, I mean, yeah. Rillaboom is fantastic. Terrafire makes it an absolute tank. I really like the Terrafire Rillaboom. Then we have Safety Goggles Incineroar with the Terra Ghost. So this is a really good deck from Giovanni. The Terra Ghost actually allows this Incineroar to have reliable ways to have fake out pressure, right? Because with the Terra Ghost you are completely immune to normal type moves, which is really good. Leading Fluttermane and Incineroar now becomes a lot better, right? Because you have two Pokemon that cannot get faked out, right? Which is really good if you want to put pressure on your opponent, which is what Giovanni's team wants to do with the amount of disrupting force that Fluttermane has, right? So it's really important. Also, Nurkan, could you tell me if the music is too loud or if it's fine? Could you just give me a little indication, please? Is Mirror good on Incin? Yes. Wolf Click actually used in Regulation H used Mirror Incineroar instead of Safety Goggles, and that was because Defiant Pokemon were really common in that regulation. Now you just don't see King Gambit all that much, so Mirror Herb is not as good. It's fine. Okay, thank you so much, Norton. So Mirror Herb is not as useful because you don't have a lot of Defiant Pokemon running around. So if that is something that you want to consider, yeah, I think right now in Regulation F, Safety Goggles, Rocky Helmet or Citrus Berry are all better than Mirror Herb, okay? That is my opinion, of course. Then we have one of the most powerful Pokemon in this regulation, that being the Landorus. Landorus is actually really funny because it has a good matchup into almost every single Pokemon. The only Pokemon that this one struggles with is against Rapid Strike's Urshifu, but like I said previously, we have two Pokemon that can deal with Rapid Strike's Urshifu pretty efficiently. So yeah, Landorus here is completely fine, and it has a good matchup into Incineroar, into Rillaboom, into Fluttermane, other Ogreborns, Raging Bolts. It's a fantastic Pokemon. It can hit all Pokemon that are relevant in this current meta, which is really good, right? Then we have the Dark type Urshifu. This is my favorite type of Urshifu, and that is because the fighting and dark typings are really good, right? The dark type Urshifu is also really strong because it's not as vulnerable as the Rapid Strike Urshifu is to Raging Bolt, right? It has a better matchup against all forms of Ogreborn as well, and that is really important. You do lose against Fluttermane or Fairy type Pokemon, as you cannot reliably use Urshifu to combat those Pokemon, but once again, that is why you have Landorus here with the Sludge Bomb. But having the Focus Sash on Urshifu makes this Pokemon a real menace. For example, if you bring this Pokemon at the end of the match, because of Unseen Feast, you can just put a lot of pressure onto your opponent and put your opponent in a really uncomfortable position. Does Ogreborn Water need Jolly Nature to outspin Lando? I do think it does. Lando goes into 168 speed if it's timid. So I think no, you don't need. You can go adamant. Let me just check here. I can quickly check. Just checking here. For example, let's go for the timid. You see, so Lando reaches 168. If you're jolly, you outspeed without a doubt, right? If you're adamant, you never outspeed. Yeah, you need to be jolly. You need to be jolly, but you don't need to invest this much in speed, right? You can go jolly here and go with this 188, and you are fine. If you can see this, right? Modest Lando was really common. Sorry, I'm just going to do this. Modest Lando was really common, and I was referring more into this. See, you can go adamant and still outspeed the Landorus. That is really good. This Ogerpon Wellspring is really good. But yeah, I would go Jolly Ogerpon so that you can reliably outspeed the Landorus. But yeah, this was Giovanni's team, and now we are going to be talking about Benjamin Harlan's team. So if you've been watching my videos, you already know what I'm going to be saying. This team is absolutely fantastic because we have Whimsicott, Goldengo, and Regidrago. All of these Pokemon I've spoken extensively on a video, and I said that these Pokemon can carry your team single-handedly. And this player, Benjamin Harlan, understood that and brought these Pokemon. This is absolutely fantastic. Not only this, but also something that I spoken of extensively was how good defensive cores are. We have a really good defensive core on these three Pokemon, right? We have the Fairy, Steel, and Dragon defensive core, which is really good. It allows you to have a really good defensive team, right? Or defensive pivoting with these three Pokemon. One really cool thing that Benjamin used here was the Dragon Terra type on Goldengo. Not only protects the Goldengo against all forms of Ogerpon, which is extremely important, but also enables a 2 Pokemon defensive core, which is really good. This is something that we can also see here with the Ogerpon Wellspring and Entei, right? With the Water, Grass, and Fire cores, right? Another really interesting thing is that Whimsicott has the Terra Electric here, so to give it a better matchup against Goldengo specifically, but against all Pokemon, right? Terra Electric is really good. You only lose against Landorus, but I mean, that is completely fine. This player also brought the Covert Cloak Whimsicott, which is really good because you can lead with Whimsicott and Regidrago and go for the Terra Ghost Tailwind, and I mean just demolish everything, right? So it's really fascinating. It's really fascinating. I think that Whimsicott is really good. I think this score of 3 is absolutely fantastic. You have Tailwind, Fake Tears, Anchor, and Moonblast. Fake Tears and Anchor are really good. You can Anchor a Rillaboom onto Fake Out. You can Anchor an Incineroar that's Terrestrialized into Fake Out as well, and also Anchor a lot of Protects. And as we know, Protect is the most common move in VGC, right? All the teams have Pokemon that use Protect, multiple ones. So it's really cool. Then we have Fake Tears. Fake Tears is also really important because you can then Fake Tears a bulky Pokemon so that your special attackers, this being Goldengo and Regidrago, can just KO them with their spread moves, right? Okay, thanks. My team had no good answer for Lando except Ogerpon. So thanks for saying Jolly Ogerpon. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Ogerpon is a really good counter against Landorus, because let's say even if the Lando is going for the Sludge Bomb, you can actually terrestrialize the Ogerpon, get a special defense boost, which makes you tank Sludge Bombs a lot better, and you can for sure just one-shot Lando with Ivy Cudgel, right? So it's really, really good. What is your showdown name? I want to send you my team for you to rate on stream. My name is EX Gonkas on Showdown. I'm just going to share my YouTube account. It should be this. Oh, I've sent it on Twitch as well. My bad. My bad. And if you're here, for everyone who's here, if you are enjoying the breakdown so far, you can always subscribe to the channel, which would really help. But yeah, let's continue on with this. So, like I said, we have a really powerful team, right? We have a really powerful team here, and then we also have a fascinating thing, that is, we have a good defensive course, right, with all of these 5 Pokemon, but then we also have good offensive cores. Like I was just saying, we have the Whimsicott that can support the special attackers, right? But then we also have the Chien-Pao Entei, which is really, really fascinating, right? You can do a lot of damage with this combo. With Sword of Ruin, you deal a lot of physical damage to your opponent, which is really, really important, especially when you have a Pokemon that has inner focus, which means that it cannot get intimidated or faked out, and has choice band and extreme speed. So priority spam is really, really potent, and this was Benjamin Harlan's team that reached top 8. Really good team, both defensively and offensively, okay? So now we go here to talk about Zach Emerzian's team. I hope I pronounced his name correctly, or their name correctly. So this is a really strong offensive Sun team. We do have the Torkoal here, which is an enabler for the team, but what I want to talk about is this. We have the Chi-Yu Fluttermane, which is a fantastic duo. Seeing the focus sash on the Fluttermane is a little bit odd, as I would be expecting the booster energy, but it also makes sense. Okay, I don't think it's wrong per se, but in my opinion, Chi-Yu with booster energy Fluttermane, it's fantastic. You can just spam Icy Wind with the Fluttermane, right? Which will enable Chi-Yu to KO everything. Or if you know that your opponent is slower, if it has a slower Pokemon than yours, you can just go for the offensive play or of Heat Wave and Moonblast, or for example Overheat and Moonblast, which is really important. We also have the Terra Ghost on Chi-Yu, and that is, you know, once again, really, really good, right? You can lead these 2 Pokemon and wreak havoc on your opponent's team. A good check into this Pokemon is the lead of Rapid Strike Urshifu with the Choice Scarf, or even the Mystic Water, and the Tornadoes, the Rain Dance Tornadoes. It's really good. But yeah, this duo is really fantastic. But then not only do we have a fast core here, right? We also have a Trick Room mode with the Farigiraf, which is an extremely potent Pokemon, and the Torkoal or the Among Us. So this Trick Room team is actually pretty frightening, because you can, if you are able to set up Trick Room, right, you can enable a really slow Pokemon with Charcoal and Drought and Eruption to just go ham, right? The Terra Grass is really good because it helps protect this Pokemon from Urshifu Rapid Strike, right? But also from spores from opposing Among Us. You also have the Weather Ball here, which is a really good tech, as it helps you have just better matchups into almost everything. If you lose HP, I mean, this is fantastic. The Helping Hand on the Torkoal is a really cool tech, because let's say if you don't want to set Trick Room, if your opponent has good Trick Room answers, you can actually just lead Chi-Yu with Torkoal, Helping Hand, and Heatwave, and just demolish your opponent, which is really, really good, right? So this team is fantastic. We also have a good defensive core here on the not the Rillaboom, sorry, of the Regidrago with the Fluttermane, right? And the Fluttermane here serves more as an enabler, as it has Icy Wind, which is going to enable the Regidrago and the Chi-Yu here, okay? Whilst doing a lot of damage with the Terra Stellar. So this team is also phenomenal. I really like it. Wait, how does Pokepaste work? You go into your team section, and there's like, if you scroll down, you have upload to Pokepaste, and you press that button, and then you have like a web page open with your team. That is basically how you do it. But yeah, this was Zach Immersion's team. Once again, reached top 8. And now we are going to be talking about Justin Burns' team. Okay, so this is also a really cool team. And now you can actually, if you've been paying attention to the other breakdowns that I've been talking about, you can actually just point out a lot of good cores here. Okay, so we have the Booster Energy Fluttermane with Chi-Yu. This one does not have Icy Wind, which is strange, but it's also really good. It's also a really good duo, right? The Fluttermane Chi-Yu. We just spoke about this. Then we have the Urshifu and the Tornadus. Another fantastic core. This Urshifu is rocking the Focus Sash, so it makes it be able to survive one hit from Rillabooms or Raging Bolts, which is really, really good. So I really like this. So we have two really good cores here, right? But then these cores can interchange with themselves, right? Tornadus is also really good with Chi-Yu, right? So yeah, it's fantastic. And then we have the strongest Pokemon in the metagame, or I'm going to say the strongest one. Offensively, it's probably the strongest one, which is the Landorus. But then we also have defensive Pokemon like Amoonguss, Terrafairy Amoonguss, which are going to be able to protect the team with Spores and Rage Powders. This one has access to Sludge Bomb, which is really good, because normally you use grass types to counteract Amoonguss, right? So having the Sludge Bomb really punishes opposing grass types or Pokemon that terrestrialize into grass. So this is a fantastic move. The Terrafairy is also really good because you still keep your good profile against Urshifu, but now you don't take super effective damage from fire type moves, but you also completely wall what's his name, Raging Bolt. Okay, so this is really, really good. Yeah, and yeah, this is a fantastic team. It's just really good. We have a really offensive Urshifu. I think that this team would actually be a team that I would use. The only thing that I would change here would be going for the Mystic Water Urshifu instead of the Focus Sash, and not having Terra Stellar, but having the Mystic Water, and making this Urshifu a little bit more bulky. Remove, for example, Dazzling Gleam or Moonblast and add Icy Wind, and that would be it. But of course, this player, Justin Burns, has a lot more experience with this team, so I am not saying that this team is bad. It's just what I would do. Okay. I sent the link on Showdown. Thank you so much. I'll be checking it in a second. I mean, I could do, but I'm going to check it right now. We stopped analyzing Justin Burns' team, so I can see this. Oh, it's here. Okay. Let me check this. You made a mistake here, no? Okay. Your link had a mistake, but that's fine. We corrected this. Okay, so this is your team. I like this team. I like the name of it. 5 big booms. I like the name of the real boom. The hated. We had Unaware, the Unaware Skeletors, Toys R Us, the Parade Giraffe. We had the Ogre Pond Wellspring and the King Gambit. Okay. So let's see. What can we say about this team? Is this good? Let me see. Am I? No. This is good. Okay. So we have a good defensive core here of Ogre Pond, Rillaboom and Insane. I can see that you are max defense Insane with Impish, which is really good. Okay. We have a careful Rillaboom. Okay. I mean, you do have a good defensive core, right? But let me see. Let me think. You counter Urshifu really well. How do you deal with Raging Bolt? Like what you're saying, you struggle against Raging Bolt, right? Another thing that I'm seeing here, not that you need to have it, right? But you don't have speed control outside of Trick Room. So that is something to note. Oh, so Salad King is here. I also saw Galarian Weezing in top 8. One of my faves. I also Galarian Weezing neutralizing gas does not stop same team Lunala's Shadow Shield. What? Okay, so that's nice. That's really nice. The follow up from yesterday's stream. Okay, that is really cool. I didn't know that. What? I actually didn't know that. So that is a good tech. So I think that really elevates your team though, right? Let me just see where the Weezing is. Was it top 8 of what regional? If you can point that out, Salad King, I'll greatly appreciate it, and we could talk about it next. So I really like your team. I think King Gambit is good. The Fairy Terra is good. I also really like the Dragon Terra on King Gambit. It gives you a good matchup against all forms of Ogre Pond, right? It also gives you good matchups against Incineroar and Rillaboom. So it actually makes this team really, the Dragon Terra on King Gambit gives you a good matchup against a lot of balanced teams, which is really good. Really 3 KOs. My team has 2 modes, which most people don't expect. It has a fast offense with Life Orb, Sucker Punch, King Gambit, and Ogre Pond, and Triple mode. Yeah, I can totally see that. I can totally see that. So I think the spread here on the King Gambit is good. I like the spread here also on the Ogre Pond. You have the speed that we've talked about. The Terrifier Rillaboom, really important as well. It really helps you, I think, because otherwise I would say like, I mean, you do have the Insane, right? But I was going to say like, how do you deal with Gholdengo efficiently? But you do have now two really good options against Gholdengo. And of course the Skeletorch is also really good, right? So this is nice. Urshifu does struggle against your team, even though you have two fire types and a Pokemon that is 4 times weak to Urshifu. You still have enough tools to deal with it, right? You have the Rillaboom, the Ogerpon, and the Kingambit, so I think this is good team building. Against the Landorus, I want to give an Aware Throat Spray to get 2 boosts after third shot. I mean, I don't see why not. Personally, if you want to do that, give Farigiraf Safety Goggles. It's really good. Safety Goggles for Farigiraf, it really helps you, because you don't have a good matchup against Amoonguss, right? If you set Trick Room up, of course you have Rillaboom and Ogerpon, right? Which are good, but in Trick Room, you can actually get your Kingambit Sport, your Farigiraf, your Skeletorch, and your Insane. So you only have 2 immunities to Amoonguss, that being the Rillaboom and Ogerpon. So I think that giving the safety goggles here on the Farigiraf would be really good. I know that Anwar is immune to fighting. I know. Anwar and Kingambit switch into. Yeah, I know that. But like we were saying, there will be scenarios where, I mean, I can see that. But what really keeps your opponent from going with the surging strikes? You have Ogerpon, of course. But if you lose Ogerpon to a Landorus, you can get in a tricky position. And that is also something that I wanted to talk about, is that Follow Me stops it from spreading status. What the... I didn't understand, Nurkan. I'm sorry. I got lost in the sauce here. My bad. But yeah, the thing that we were talking about, this team is really weak to Landorus. For example, what do you do against Tornadus and Landorus? I don't see how you can answer that. We have teams that are really like that, have that, right? Tornadus, Landorus. We have here Tornadus with Thunderwave Fluttermane, right? We have here the Tailwind Make It Rain or Dragon Energy, which are really oppressive as well. We are going to be seeing, you have here the Landorus, Tornadus again, right? So I think you need to test your matchup against Landorus. Follow me. Yeah, I know that. But that's what I'm saying, is that you don't have, in my opinion, you don't have enough enough answers to Among Us. In my opinion, I think you if you want to put Throat Spray on Skeletorch, I think that you need to give Farigiraf the safety goggles. Right? I think it would be better. And also, if you do that, your Farigiraf completely counters Among Us, because then you have Psychic and safety goggles, so you completely counter Among Us in Trick Room, which is really good, right? Then we have the Skeletorch, the Modest Nature with Torch Song, Protect, Shadow Ball, and Terra Blast. I think Terra Blast is a good option. It gives you good answers. The Fairy Terra Blast. It's also good against Raging Bolt, right? I think that's good. I know that, but if you're saying that you want to give throat spray to Skeledirge, you can't have 2 throat sprays. Does that make sense? Because you were saying earlier of I want to give Unaware throat spray to get 2 boosts after the Torch Song, and I'm just talking about that hypothesis. Because if you give throat spray to Unaware, that is my scenario. If you give throat spray to Unaware, I would give safety goggles. That is just a scenario that I'm giving. I'm not saying that. Okay. So we are on the same page. Okay. But yeah, I think it's a good team. I think it's a nice team. I do think you have to just improve your matchup against Landorus. For example, against this type, where is it? Against this team here, right? Against Landorus and Tornadus. I think it was, where was it? We had a person here with, oh, this one. These two. With a covered cloak. What do you rank it out of 10? I mean, it's a good balanced team, right? I would give it a solid like 7.5. I want to say 7.5, just because there. Oh, don't you have? You forgot to add a fake out here. I think the team is solid, but I cannot overstate how important it is for you to have an answer into these two guys, because Landorus is the most common Pokemon, right? And your team does not have a good answer into Landorus. If you do that, I think it's better than 7.5. Like I'm saying now, Terra Ogerpon counters both. Okay. That is fair. So yeah, going into Justin Burns' team. So we are now entering top 4, actually. Have we spoken of Justin Burns' team? Yeah, we have talked about this team. So this is just a really good team with a lot of potential leads, which can disrupt your opponent, right? The Landorus Tornadus is really good. Fluttermane Chew are really good non-core. We also have the Urshifu Tornadus, Chew Tornadus, really good, right? And then we have a good defensive Pokemon here on Among Us to protect us from Trick Room teams, which this team really dislikes, right? So yeah, going inside to Sohaib's Moftir's team, this was one team that I really liked. It was one of my favorite teams in the whole tournament. Thanks for rating my team. No problem, Nurkun. I hope that I made my points understandable, right? I'm just trying to help, like in a neutral standpoint, right? Non-biased standpoint. Just want to help. If you improve your matchup against Tornadus Landorus, I think your team is pretty good. But you do have to improve that side of your team, right? But other than that, I think you are in a good spot, in my opinion. But yeah, now let's talk about Sohaib's team. We do have a Cresselia, which was a Pokemon that I really liked seeing in the previous regional event, right? It has access to a Lunar Blessing, which is absolutely fantastic because it will pair really well again with Ursaluna, and it just means that you can pivot your Pokemon, for example, the Ursaluna, Urshifu, or even the Incineroar, just way more freely, right? Because you can bring them out, for example, bring the Incineroar and Lunar Blessing with Cresselia. If the Incineroar gets targeted or the Cresselia, you can Lunar Blessing and their HP will go up, right, making them a lot more reliable and artificially bulky. So it's really good. But this is what I was talking about here, Nurkan. For example, we have Safety Goggles Cresselia here, and this is fantastic. And why is that? Because this Cresselia can completely counter Among Us. It has Psychic, which is good against Among Us, right? Cresselia cannot be put to sleep, and if the Among Us wants to attack the Cresselia with Sludge Bomb, the Cresselia has Terra Steel to protect itself from the Among Us. So this Cresselia here is the, in my opinion, like the ultimate Among Us counter, and I think it's really good. Also, King Gambit was Terra Fairy. I know that it was Terra Fairy. I'm just saying that Terra Dragon is really good on the King Gambit because it gives you a better matchup against all forms of Ogre Pawn. It gives you a good matchup against Insane, a better matchup against Insane, right? It gives you a good matchup against Urshifu, against Rillaboom. What I was saying is that Terra Dragon King Gambit is really good. But I know that you were Terra Fairy. I know that. Now, the Among Us is the exact same thing as previous teams, right? Oh, I thought you said it was Terra Fairy. No. Terra Dragon is really good. Terra Dragon, if you opt out, if you want to change the Terra on the King Gambit, Terra Dragon is really good. In my opinion, I think it's pretty nice. We have the Among Us here, which we've talked about. The Ursaluna is the Ursaluna that we all just know and love, right? It's a Guts, Terra Ghost, Facade Ursaluna. This is just the most common, right? And this Ursaluna pairs really well with Cresselia because Cresselia has Levitate, and it makes like a phenomenal partner for it, right? Because you can just freely press Earthquake once you are in Trick Room, which is really nice. We have the Assault Vest Incineroar here, which is really important. Assault Vest Incineroar is my favorite form of Incineroar, just because it allows you to have added bulk, right? You do lose the access to Parting Shot, but I don't think that matters that much when you have a really fast Fake Out. You are now slow in Trick Room, which is also something that you want. You like to have slow U-turns on Trick Room, which is really important, so that you can bring Ursaluna safely, right, or other Pokemon. The fast U-turn on the Incineroar is not that bad because you have Lunar Blessing on the Cresselia, so really nice. We have the Choice Specs, Fluttermane, really good, and we even have the Perish Song here. It's a good like fourth move, right? You can create scenarios where you have Fluttermane, Incineroar, and Among Us, right? And with these two, you can just keep on switching. How did I make this? Oh, it's like this. Oh, okay, nice. You can make just an endgame really sticky for your opponent if you have these three alive. So it's really nice. Then we have Icy Wind here on the Cresselia, which also is an enabler for the Fluttermane's offensive Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam endgame, right? Rage Powder on the Among Us and Fake Out on the Incineroar also really help the Fluttermane out. Then we have the Life Orb Urshifu. This is my favorite form of Urshifu, like a bulky Urshifu with Life Orb is really good. You do crazy amounts of damage. So I really like this team. This was my favorite team, in my opinion. I think. Oh, let me just check. Yeah. This was my favorite team. Yeah, it was exactly that. Then we have Carson Comfort's team. This team made top 2, right? It reached the finals, and it was a really fantastic team. This team featured the Ogre Pawn Cornerstone, which I talked about extensively, saying how good it was. I think that the things to note here are the Imprison for a Giraffe, right? The Ogerpon Cornerstone, and the Ninetales. I think that the rest of them are quite normal, I would say, with the exception of here the Ninetales. And why do you want Ninetales on your team? Ninetales is really good because you have your own weather with Drought, with your ability, right? Which gives you a lot of offensive pressure, right? You have access to Heat Wave, so a fast Heat Wave with Life Orb and Drought does a lot of damage, right? You also have access to an Overheat in the Sun, once again, does a lot of damage. And you have Helping Hand, which is always good, right? Because you can, for example, lead Fluttermane and Ninetales. Helping Hand, Terra Fairy, Dazzling Gleam. What can your opponent do? Especially with the Terra Ghost Ninetales, right? Both you can put them both with the Terra Ghost, both immune to Fake Out, and it's kind of GG, right? So Ninetales is really good. It enables your team, enables Fluttermane. It's also an auto enabler, right? With the fire typing of Ninetales, and you also have Helping Hand, which will help a lot here. The Fluttermane, Urshifu, and even the Ogerpon Cornerstone. So I really like these Ninetales. Really like these Ninetales. What should I improve on my team? The things that we talked about. I think that you need a perhaps I would say like safety goggles for Giraffe is really good. Giving a throat spray to your Skeledirge is amazing. So I think that's something you could do, right? You need to improve your matchup against Landorus. Your team is really weak against Landorus, even though you have Ogerpon. And I also really like the Dragon Terra King Gambit. It's really good. But the Terra Fairy is also nice, okay? TLDR, improve your matchup against Tailwind Landorus. Tailwind, meaning Tornadus or Whimsicott with Landorus. Okay, if you do that, I think that your team is going to be way better. Then we have the winning team. This winning team is fascinating. I think it's really good. So Calm Mind Iron Crown was a Pokemon that I talked about extensively in both my breakdown of Seattle's regional, but also when I spoke of the best Pokemon over Regaf, or that will carry your team in Regaf. Calm Mind Iron Crown was one of them. I really like this one. Especially when paired with Indeedee, because you now get access to redirection, which is going to enable your spread damage, right, with the expanding force. But the Follow Me is also going to give you space to Calm Mind. Helping Hand is going to boost all of your Pokemon's damage, right? And then you have Imprison, which this team does not want to be in Trick Room, right? So having an Imprison Indeedee is really good. Just blocking out Follow Me Pokemon, right? And Pokemon with access to Trick Room. Making sure that your team will always have the speed advantage with the booster speed and the Tailwind and Icy Wind. So really good. Once again, Nurkon, if you check this out, we have Tornadus and Landorus here. Once again, this was really common in this last regional. So that is something that you have to prepare for if you want to reach really high ladder in Regaf. And then the single striker people, like I said a lot of times during this breakdown, this fella here is just amazing. I really like this Urshifu. especially with the choice band, is just an endgame cleaner. Okay, so I think that this team is phenomenal. Really like this team, and this was Dylan Matthews' winning team, Houston's winning team. Okay, and this was the breakdown of Houston. Yeah, checking. You are still this fella here, right? Wait, you've sent it already, or you are sending it right now? Which one of which? Oh, it's here. Okay. Man, I don't know what's happening here with the Pokepastes, but whoa, this is a completely different team. Okay. So the first thing that I'm seeing is why Palafin instead of Urshifu? I think that's the most obvious question, right? Just because Palafin takes a lot of time to set up, right? You have to bring him in, you have to make sure that this Pokemon does not get faked out, and then you have to flip turn or switch it into another Pokemon, so then you can bring it again. So it's a really good Pokemon. I really like Palafin. Shiny Palafin is amazing. I also have one. Oh, doubles OU. Okay, I don't know the format then. I don't know the format then. But I like the team. Like, in a universe without Urshifu, this team is good. This team is good. You have Recover here with a Sanisha, also Wage Powder and Life 2, which is really good. This Pokemon pairs really well with Insane. This is pretty nice. Porygon is also really good. You have the Bolt Beam coverage here, which is phenomenal. Okay. This spread. Okay, I can yeah, I can see it should be okay. I don't know the calcs, but I think this is nice with the Recover. We have Garganacl. Garganacl is really nice. There was a Garganacl that won a regional in Mexico, if I'm not mistaken, and it was a Maranga Berry Garganacl, and it was fantastic. Goldengo instead of Porygon 2. I like it. I like the Goldengo here. Let me think. Yeah, I like the Goldengo here. I think Goldengo is nice. I think that the Goldengo is pretty nice. Oh, please pay attention to this. You have a serious natured Sinistcha. You should not be serious nature, right? So if you have the chance, correct this to the nature that you want, because this will not give you any boost, right? I mean, I think that the team is fine. You have substitute Landorus, which makes sense when you have both Sinistcha and Insane. Really like this. Why have a different nature on Sinistcha? Because the serious nature doesn't give you any boosts. You are losing 10%, a boost of 10% in one of the sets that you want, right? The serious nature doesn't give you any boost. If you check on Showdown, we can check here. I can show you. For example, yeah, whatever. I can see. For example, we have another Mancerledge here, right? And we have a boost to the attack stat. If we are, let's go for the Sirius. See, we don't have any stat increase or decrease with Sirius. And look at this. I lost a lot of attack. I lost 17 points on my attack stat, right? We lost 10% of our attack stat just because we are Sirius. See the increase? That is really important. That difference is really important. But I think the team is good, man. I like seeing Palafin. It's a really tough Pokemon to utilize, especially because you have Ogerpon running around, and Rillaboom with Fake Out and Grassy Glide. But I think it's a nice team. The Terra Water here, I know that you want more damage with the Palafin for the Jet Punch, but the Terra Fire is also really good. It would really help your Palafin as well, in my opinion. But I think this is a good team. I like the team. I like seeing Palafin and I like seeing Garganacl. I like them. I really like them. And this is just my 2 cents. I hope it helped. This team is nice. I like this team. If you have Goldango, you have good spread damage, right? You have good fake out pressure, redirection. You have good damage. You have Wide Guard, which is helpful. Yeah. I have Terra Steel and Clear Amulet, but it did too little. Yeah, I know it did too little. That's why I asked why Palafin instead of Urshifu. That was my main point of contention, just because Urshifu can just do a lot more damage. Right? I hope that makes sense as well. And yeah, this is your team. It's a good team. Maybe some things could be improved upon, but I think that the team is good. Shifu is bad. Yeah, no, I'm talking in Regaf. If I knew that Urshifu was usable in Regaf, in Double ZU, I would use Urshifu. If Urshifu is banned, Palafin makes a lot of sense. That is my opinion. I think Urshifu makes a lot of sense. I think Palafin makes a lot of sense if Urshifu is banned. Sorry, I'm just stumbling on my words a little bit. But yeah, this is my opinion. I think the team is solid. If you want to import it to Regaf, I think the only substitution that you would be doing would be changing the Palafin. If you are bringing this team to Regaf. If not, this team is nice. But yeah, now I'm actually going to do a little pause. Okay, I hope you all don't mind, just a little pause, and when I come back we will be doing something else. I don't know what yet, but I'm thinking about just going in and testing Pinsir. Okay, so Mega Pinsir in the double OU format, the National Dex format. This is a team. I don't think I want an Alolan Ninetales here, but I'll correct this when I come back. But yeah, I'm just going to do a little break and I'll be right back. AA, so I am back. Sorry for taking so long. And now, like I was saying before, we are going to check the national decks. So I'm really excited for this. I'm actually going to be changing the music here even. And you know what? I'm actually also just going to grab a Goldango here. It's not here, sorry. Just going to grab a Goldango set to add to the team. Oh, I don't want the citrus berry one. I want an offensive Goldango. I mean, Life Orb, Terra Fairy. Yeah, I don't see why not. And it's fast. Okay. I want to change this fella. And you have to be level 100. Okay. So, like I was saying, right now we will be trying out my favorite Mega Pokemon. That being Mega Pinsir, okay? And I think that the stream will be pretty chill. I think that the stream will be pretty chill. I'm just going to change the text here to just say that we are playing with Mega Pinsir. Let me testing Mega Pinsir. Okay, we've changed the text. And I'm just going to change the text here as well on the Twitch stream. And we should be fine. I'm just going to put like some battle music, but I don't know what battle music I'm going to be using for this one. Let's just put some generic one, right? Let me just select here. We can go for this one. I hope that the music is not too loud. Oh, it's actually too low. You guys can't even hear it. Okay, I'm just going to up this a little bit more then. Okay. Now we should be fine. So let me just delete all this. Then remove the pen. Okay. So. Okay. So right now we will be testing Pinsir and Mega Pinsir in the National Dex format. Mega Pinsir is my favorite Mega Evolution from the old generation, and I think it actually is pretty nice. So in the old generation, Mega Pinsir gets Aerialate, which turns normal type moves into flying type moves, which are going to be stab when Pinsir Mega evolves, as it gains the flying type. Before, we used to run Return on this Pokemon because at max rank it's a 102 base power move with no drawbacks, so it's really good because we'll be getting a 20% boost from Aerialate and stab on it. So this 102 base power move is absolutely absurd. In the newer games, we will have to pivot into Double Edge, which is more powerful, but you do take a lot of recoil, right? So because we are playing in an older format, basically I'm just going to keep the return up. Then still utilizing Mega Pinsir's ability, I went for Feint. So why Feint and not Quick Attack? Quick Attack is stronger, right? But The cool thing here is that Pinsir will turn Faint into an flying type move, right? So now Faint has the unique property of nullifying Detect, Protect, Quick Guard, or Wide Guard. This is really important because now Faint, the flying type Faint, will not have any immunities, right? Any typing that can avoid being fainted. This is really important because Faint will not only just keep its priority, right, which is phenomenal and something that shares with Quick Attack, but will also allow, for example, Mega Goldango to take a BKO with Make It Rain, or allow other teammates to do a lot of damage, for example, the Landorus Tyrion with Stomping Tantrum, right? And I think this is a really good adaptation. Now, flying types get resisted by rock and steel types, right? That is one of the biggest things that makes the flying type weaker. But thankfully, we have access to close combat. Now, close combat is a fighting type move. It is not stab, but it's still a move that can do a lot of damage against Pokemon that Pinsir would otherwise be weak against. Now, base form Pinsir has a lot of abilities: Hyper Cutter, Mold Breaker, and Moxie. I went for the Hyper Cutter, so if I lead Pinsir, I cannot get intimidated. And that is really important because post Mega Evolution, Mega Pinsir will have a 155 attack stat, and I want to make use of that attack stat. Now, we do have just some good reliable Pokemon from this new age that return existing champions. We don't know, it is not confirmed, because we are playing, and welcome to the stream, Giorgio. Because we are playing in a format that allows return, I want to test return, but since we don't know if return is going to be available, I can go just for the double edge, which makes more sense, right? Because this is a move that we know is in the game. And so yeah, we can just keep double edge for to study, right? To analyze how good Pinsir will do. Now, the partners for Pinsir are going to be a lot of the new meta Pokemon. For example, the Goldango and Iron Hands. These are really good Pokemon. Not only Iron Hands is going to be helpful against typings that Pinsir struggles, right? It is also a Pokemon that has access to Fake Out. It's really bulky, so it's extremely reliable, right? And we already know how good Iron Hands is. It's really fascinating how strong this Pokemon is. We have Wild Charge, Heavy Slam, Low Kick, and Fake Out. It's just the normal moves that we usually see in this Paradox Pokemon. We then have the Goldango with the Life Orb, with the Make It Rain, Shadow Ball, Nasty Plot, and Protect. It's a faster Goldango, and this is why I wanted to use Faint on Pinsir. I think it's really important. Then we have some old Pokemon that this Mega Pinsir team already was used to use. Those being the Amoonguss, Tapu Fini, and Landorus Tyrion. Amoonguss is really good with Pinsir, just to support it with redirection, right? It's also really good for us to have a better matchup against Trick Room teams. That is really important. Now, I wanted to add Tapu Fini here because it really complements our defensive core. We don't have a fire type Pokemon, but we have an Amoonguss that can Terastallize into fire, which is really important. And Tapu Fini is actually really nice because it has access to muddy water, which is going to make it so that Pinsir has an easier time dealing with fire type Pokemon, right? We have the Wiki Berry, which is going to be making Tapu Fini even more bulky. This is already an extremely bulky Pokemon. Wiki Berry is just a stronger version of Citrus Berry, right? So I really wanted to add that, and that is also really good the Wiki Berry is also really good because we have access to Calm Mind. Now Calm Mind is going to boost Tapu Fini's special attack and special defense by 1 stage, and this is why it's so important to have a Pokemon with Fake Out and a Pokemon with Redirection, so that we are able to just Calm Mind up and then press our offensive moves, okay? That is really important. And then I decided to use the old reliable Landorus Therian. This Landorus Therian has the Stealth Rocks because the National Dex format makes us use all of our team. So all 6 Pokemon will come to the match. And this is really important because we will seeing a lot of switching, and that is where Stealth Rocks thrive, right? So we have an Intimidate and Rocky Helmet. The Terra Water is going to be really important to help us deal with rain teams, and I just gave it a really simple spread of max HP and max speed with the Jolly Nature. And so this is the team. I gave U-turn to the Landorus so that we could pivot Iron Hands and Among Us in more safely. Okay, so this is the team, and let's just jump into this, right? Let's jump into the National Dex format. And like I was saying, Mega Pinsir, I mean, it's one of my favorite Pokemon. So, what are we going to be doing? I have to do this, right? So you guys can see better. This is an interesting team. We have Charizard, we have a Sand team. You know what will do really well here? Tapu Fini. I think Tapu Fini is fascinating here. So I'm really tempted of just going Tapu Fini and Landorus. Let's see. Mamoswine and Samurott. We are in a really good position here. Now, the Mamoswine does have access to Ice Shard, so I don't want to keep my Landorus in, right? So I think I'm just going to Calm Mind with the Tapu Fini. And I'm actually just going to bring Iron Hands here. Yep, like we saw the Ice Shard. Cecil's Edge goes into the Tapu Fini, but that does 0 damage, right? Now, I think I can just go for another Calm Mind, and I'm just going to fake out the Mamoswine here. It's the only Pokemon that threatens me, right? Cecil's Edge, you are setting up spikes, but my Tapu Fini is getting so strong. I mean, I don't see how this is good for you, right? I'm just going to go for the offense here, like the Moonblast and the Low Kick. Oh, he crits me. That is not good. If he didn't crit me, we would be really well. Yeah. Oh, we still survive. So this is why Wiki Berry is so important. Now we are still over 50% HP, so that is really good. And that Intimidate from the Landorus was also really important, right? Now, what can I do here? I think that Iron Hands has to go, right? And I actually don't mind just going for the Muddy Water. Could also just go for the Protect and Wild Bolts. Oh, we have the Drought. Okay, so this was expected. This is why Heat Wave goes through. It does hit the Iron Hands. So this is a little bit troublesome, right? And I don't have Rock Slide. Huh. What do we do here? My opponent has Tailwind as well, so that is not good. I think I'm just going to bring the Goldango and see where this takes us. I'm just going to Muddy Water, right? Muddy Water, Terra Fairy, make it rain? I don't see why not. I don't think we get KO'd, right? Solar Beam. We should survive. Yep. +2. Now we need to hit with the Muddy Water. If we do that, we hit both. Okay, so Charizard gets the accuracy drop, and we are not in a bad position, in my opinion. Lilligant comes through, so I'm just going to double protect. I want to stall the Tailwind, right? And if we do that, we are in a really good position. Which is pretty nice. So let's see what we can do here. My opponent is thinking, but I think this is the best option that we can... Oh... Okay. Okay. I can see this. I can see this going really poorly for us. The thing is, I still think we are in a good position. That's the thing. I can just go for the Muddy Water again, and I don't lose anything for going for the Make It Rain. Heatwave missed, double miss. This is why we run Muddy Water. Let's go. Let's go. We missed. Okay, we missed the... Okay, but both of them get accuracy dropped, and they lose the Tailwind now. Nice. Nice. I'm just going to double protect again, stalling out the Sun. This is really important for us. This is really important for us. Helping Hand goes through, double protect from our side, and we should be fine. I don't think that the Charizard can do a single thing to us. We are going to go for the Muddy Water, and I think I want to be greedy and go for the Nasty Plot. Let's see if this pays off. Tyranitar comes through. This is why we went for the Nasty Plot. Leaf Storm misses. We do a lot of damage, and we do a lot of damage. This is fantastic for us, by the way. This is fantastic. Now I can just go for the Moonblast on the T-Tar, and honestly, just make it rain. I think we are in a good position here. Okay, double KO. I could have Calm Minded, but I don't think that is bad. We are just going to be fainting next turn, but we still have 3 Pokemon. So yeah, and Mega Pinsir is faster than Mega Charizard, so that's also a thing that my opponent has to consider, right? I'm just going to go for the Muddy Water and Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball goes through, does a lot of damage. Goldengo does go down, and we will lose Tapu Fini as well, but we should still be fine. And that is just because we don't have Terra, but we have Pinsir and Landorus. Now Pinsir is going to be taking a little bit of damage, but not much. Now we can just Mega Evolve our Pinsir, go for the Double Edge, and we can't really touch him with the Lando, so I'm just going to U-turn. But we should be faster. We are faster with both of our Pokemon. And it's just over. It's just over. Mega Pinsir, buddies. Mega Pinsir is real. Really good Pokemon. Even though it just got like a little tiny bit of a KO, right? But I think it's really good. I really like Mega Pinsir. So let's go on to the next one. We are seeing a Mega Mawile on the other side. That is really interesting. But once again, like, I really don't dislike the Landorus with the Goldengo. I also don't dislike the Pinsir with the Lando. Let's lead Pinsir. We can't get intimidated. Oh, what can my opponent do here? This is odd. I'm just going to Stealth Rock. And I actually don't really like this. I think it's just odd that my opponent does this, right? I could just Mega Evolve, go for the Double Edge on the Reuniclus. I could also just go for the Goldengo, right? I want to see how much damage we do. Okay. Okay, so... Okay. No problem. Mega Horn missed. Nice. So we don't lose anything. So I can just now go for the U-turn. And look at this. Ooh, base 144. Come on. This Reuniclus is going to just faint. I am just going to U-turn. And just double edge the Reuniclus. I'm more worried about the Reuniclus than anybody else. So let's see. Always do the funny. Oh, sorry. Chat was not here. Always do the funny, you coward. Man, I have to play. I have to play more for the content. I'm trolling, man. I'm trolling. Yeah, but Mega Pinsir is real. I swear. Like right now, we are using double edge on Pinsir, but if we have access to return, I mean, it's just going to be absolutely fantastic. So I'm really excited for that. So now I can expect just a fake out from Insane, right, onto either one of my Pokemon. I don't feel that threatened with these two fellas, and I don't think I'd lose too much by just going for the low kick and switching Lando. Right, we get an Intimidate. My opponent's Pokemon are not doing anything. Oh, and we just get a KO onto the Insane. Oh, we don't. Dang. No problem. But my opponent just forfeits. Like, I think this team is good, man. I think this team is good. National Dex is not the best way to test a team, but I mean, it's the only way we have right now. And Mega Pinsir is just proving its worth. So Konami, how did the interview went? If you want to talk about that. If you don't, that is also completely fine. That is also completely fine. So, what do you guys think of Mega Pinsir so far? I think it's pretty nice. I think it's pretty nice. Yo, Konami, someone knew you were in chat because they brought Whizzing with Gigas. Someone knew that you were in chat. This is funny. But I can just... What can my opponent do if I just go for Goldengo Landorus? Can they do anything about this? Or even Goldengo Iron Hands? Goldengo Iron Hands is even safer. But I want to go, yeah, just because of this. We just have a really good matchup now. I'm just going to Nasty Plot, and I'm actually just going for the Stomping Tantrum onto the Whizzing. Should be fine. I could also just go for Nasty Plot and Stealth Rocks. Yeah, just the best play, right? Knock. The funny almost cost me. Oh yeah, I don't have Intimidate, that's why. I kinda trolled, I should have went for the Terrafer, I forgot. Okay. We are still fine though. We are still fine. I'm just going to go for the Make It Rain and Stomping Tantrum onto the Whizzing slot. Right, it just protected, so I think we are fine. We should get the KO here. Yeah, we do. Now we are going to be losing all our Goldengo, but that is fine. That is fine. Oh, I love this music. I love this one. I love this one, man. So, what do we bring here? I don't dislike Iron Hands. I don't dislike Iron Hands. Just really safe, right? Now, Iron Hands is weak to the expanding force, but we didn't have like any other option, right? And to be honest, I just don't dislike this that much. I can just go for the heavy slam and U-turn, right, onto Tapu Lele. We do take this damage really well. Now I'm just going to bring the Tapu Fini here, just remove the potential for that. We just got Gecko. Remove the potential of a expanding force, right? And now we are in a fantastic position. This is just really good for us. I'm not concerned at all with Regigigas, right? I think it makes sense why I'm not concerned. I'm just going to bring the Lando now. The Clodsire could be troublesome, but I don't really want to worry myself with that. I'm just going to Calm Mind. What can the Clodsire do even? Earth Power onto the Lando. Perfect switch from our end, right? We are just reading our opponent. Really nice. I'm just going to Stomping Tantrum and just Calm Mind again. I don't feel threatened at all. Oh, just almost a KO onto the Clodsire. They do remove our Wiki Berry, which is not good, but we are still in a phenomenal position. So, I'm just going to I don't think to U-turn even, right? I'm just going to Stomping Tantrum the Gigas and Muddy Water, okay? Protect on the Gigas, that is fine. We should get the kill on the Clodsire if we don't miss, right? Oh, it's Water Absorb. Uh-oh. I trolled. But that is fine. I'm just going for the Stomping Tantrum and Moonblast onto the Gigas. We should still get the KO, right? Yeah, both of my... no. I think we should be fine still. Gigas has its attack off, so... High Horsepower is not going to be doing anything to the Tapu Fini. Gigas without Wheezing, the opponent is stripping. Yo, Medhev, how are you doing in this beautiful day? My opponent did have a Wheezing. Unfortunately, I KO'd him. Anyway, does Pinsir get Aerialate? It does. It does get Aerialate. And it's fantastic. I can try to bring him this turn. I'm going to bring him this turn, just for you. Just give me a second. Aerialate is fantastic. I'm going to bring Pinsir for you. Yeah, kill the Wheezing because he's just basically. And then we have Landorus, which can just intimidate, right? The Gigas was not clear amulet, so we were completely fine. And now we are just going to one-shot the Slowking. And I'm just going to Moonblast him as well, to just guarantee, right? I think this is fine. Yeah, and the Slowking is the Pokemon that we don't want to deal with, so... Yeah. Almost KOing the Slowking, that is not bad. That is not bad. Toxic, okay. No, we lost the Mega Pinsir. Oh, this is not great. No, but this is, we are still fine. That is just, it's sad. I'm just going to Fake Out and just set up another Calm Mind and get a clean win, a clean endgame against my opponent, right? I just have the Wild Charge here, Moonblast, and it should be over. We have 4 for 1, yeah. 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 But Mega Pinsir is nice. I was using Return because it was the deck. Can we have Mega, Terra and Mega? At least in the National Dex format, we don't, Medhev. But we don't know how it's going to be in the future. We don't know how it's going to be in Champions. But having a Pokemon, being able to both Mega Evolve and use Terra would be a little bit concerning, at the very least. So my opponent is rocking the Serledge. Serledge makes a return. That is the GOAT. That is the GOAT. I'm just going to bring Ironans in Tapu Fini. I could also just bring Ironans and Landorus, which I don't dislike. I want to set the Stealth Rocks because my opponent's team is quite weak to Stealth Rocks. And the Cerledge makes a return, turn one. Pretty nice. I can't fake out either of them. The Ribombee is probably just Shield Dust, right? Oh, I'm having so much fun with Cerledge. Are you though? Have you made changes to the team? Cerledge is really good, man. Well, on yesterday's stream, I used Ally Switch Cerledge, and it was amazing. Like, oh my god, I had so much fun yesterday. And thank you so much for being on yesterday's stream as well. Just going to Heavy Slam the Ribombee and set up the Stealth Rocks. Oh, Swords Dance Cerledge. That could be troublesome. But I'm not that worried. Because I don't see how my opponent is going to deal with my team with only Cerledge. Tailwind Lunala still can't go. Man, like, come on, man, like, be honest. Be honest. Cerledge just one-shotted my Lando. But like, be honest, Tailwind Lunala, like, no one even thinks of that. Like, come on. Come on. I used that team against my friends in BO3 and won very easily. Man, I'm sorry for your friend. For real. I'm sorry. But like, Tailwind Lunala, that is just something we never see, man. That is crazy, man. That is absolutely crazy. So, unfortunately, we kind of lost a really strong Pokemon on our end, but we should still be fine. I don't want to switch Iron Hands just because Iron Hands is so valuable. I'm just going to Wild Charge, and I'm just going to Muddy Water. Tapu Fini is really good here. It has a fantastic typing. We have the Assault Vest on the Iron Hands. Poltergeist, we should survive this. And the Wiki Berry procs, we get a lot of HP back. Wild Charge, almost KO, Weak Armor, okay. Please hit the Muddy Water. And it does it. Tapu Fini the Goated. Toxapex weakens them with Ship, then Koraidon comes in and runs them over. So that damage. What is your usual lead? Do you go like Cerledge Toxapex? Do you go? What do you usually lead? Because I've only played so much with Cerledge, and Cerledge never fucking nice. He lives at 5% HP. Deals huge Sun Boosted Bitter Blade. Yeah, so yesterday we did 50% to a Terrafire Koraidon with Bitter Blade, and that to me was insanity. That was just insane. I was really surprised by that. I made a mistake. But that's fine, that's fine. The Draco misses on the Iron Hands. We went for the Terra Water for this, and we should get a lot of damage. That's exactly what I wanted. I could have actually just went for the Wild Charge. My opponent played really recklessly, but that is fine. Rillaboom Lunala is good with me. Okay, I really like Rillaboom Lunala. That is why when I played in Regulation I tournaments, I always went Grassy Seed Lunala. It's really good. It's really good. It's really reliable. Because you get a +1 defense boost, right? And I will always want to bring Rillaboom, right? Terrain control is also really important, so yeah. So now we are in a tricky position here. My opponent... We could actually lose this one. Walking Wake does come through again. Booster special attack. So, oh, I got speed dropped. I'm going to try to KO the Walking Wake. I mean, yo, watch this. Watch this. We got this, actually. We got this. I could go to Among Us and then I feint the Walking Wake. Terra feint. And this is just GG. Bing. Let's go. Let's go. Charizard Y with Wake is just straight up crazy. Lilligant can sweep. my friend, it could sweep. It could sweep if we were not goated, right? That's the only scenario. Because now I can actually just stall this. I can go to Iron Hands, protect the Pinsir. We Feint Awake. Yep, exactly. Exactly. And Feint is so good on Pinsir, man. It's just so good. Terra Steel Shiyu. Oh, I dislike that a lot. I dislike that a lot. We might lose this one, boys. We might lose this one. Now, Christopher Yusuf is a problem. Wait, I know that name. Christopher Yusuf. Man, I know that name. Wait a minute. I have to check that out after the game. But I know that name. I know that name. I'm just going to bring the Goldango. Now, the issue here is none. Can we KO? We can KO the. Look at this. We feint the Lilligant, protect, feint the Lilligant, Mink, easy. Yeah, but there's actually a person that is Christopher Yusuf. Yeah, I know that Christopher Yusuf is. You're referring to Chiu. I know that. I still think that we'll lose this one, but we have to try, right? Shadow Ball is our best bet here, and to be honest, the Spore. Oh, when Amunga survives. Amunga survives, but we don't have enough damage to KO the Chiyu. Oh, this is unfortunate. Terra Steel Chiyu. Oh man, we are going to be taking our first loss. No way. Can we crit? No. Even the crit wouldn't help us. We need the Chiyu to just miss. Didn't miss a single. That is fine, that is fine. Sun teams are a pain in the ass for us, so... Oh, no, I said that I wanted to check out. But Christopher Yusuf, let me check here. Christopher Yusuf. Maybe I'm trolling. But the Yusuf name, I remember it from out of nowhere. That's a GG, yeah, Among Us can't win. No, I know that. Just unfortunate. I really thought that we had it. We just needed a miss, right? But that is fine, This is an original team. We still did fine. Against the Sun team, I'm happy with that. Having in consideration that we are really weak to Sun, maybe I should make some changes. Maybe I should add Pelipper. That is fine. We will think about that later. Now, I am seeing a strange team. I don't know how to describe this. I kind of want to go just Iron and then Landorus. Oh, so is that why I remember that name? Maybe. We are in a really good position. I can just fake out the Insane. I actually don't want to just attack. I want to set up the Stealth Rocks, just because my opponent has Mega Gyarados, and that is kind of troublesome. Substitute Pikachu. What? Substitute Pikachu. Okay, I can respect that. But what are you going to do now? Like, actually, what are you going to do now? I kind of wanna. I want to just. Nah, I'm going to get rid of the Insane. It's the most dangerous one on their team. But we don't get the KO. Nasty plot. It's. Oh, we are cooked. Yo, Madev, we got cooked. We lost. We actually lost this one. This is a light orb Pikachu. We lost this one. Yeah, we lost this one. I knew it. I just knew it, man. Oh, it's lightning rod. Oh, feels bad, man. So it has hidden power ice. It has substitute nasty plot. It doesn't have protect. Picagon smoke. No, it's not. It can't, man. It can't. It can't. It can't. It can't. We outspeed with Pinsir. We could just close combat that Pokemon as well. Among Us is also a good answer. You know what? I'm going to go Pinsir. I'm going Pinsir. I'm going to switch. This song is so good. And I'm just going to Mega Evolve and close combat the Pikachu. It doesn't have Protect. We should be fine. We should be fine. Okay. Medhev. Pika got smoke. Okay, he got smoked. That's what Pika did, okay? He stood no chance. No chance. And look at this. I don't know if you look at this. I'm going to Rage Powder first, and then I'm just going to close combat the Gyarados. Yeah. That was the correct option. Bye bye, look at this. Just Pinsir just sweeping. Is it Power Herb? It's not Power Herb. Uh-oh. Do you know what this means? I don't think we KO'd our Arcalodon. I don't know if it's Sturdy or Stamina. So faking out that Pokemon is a bit annoying. But I could just Heavy Slam the Flutter and protect the Pinsir. So let's see. We do take a lot of damage from the Moonblast. We do KO the Flutter, so we are chilling. We are chilling. We are still chilling. Now the low kick and double edge should take the. Yep, we got this. We got this one. We got this one. This one is in the bag, baby. I remember someone brought a Riolu in Regaf against me. I double it with Gale Wings, Talonflame, Acrobatics, and Earthshape Aquajet. Opponent forfeited. Man, we actually saw a bunch of Prankster Riolus, Focus Sash Riolus, and in Regaf, even in Reg Age, and that was completely insane, man. That was, to me, that was insane. But I mean, it's deserved, right? Deserved. It was probably like Prankster, I don't know, coaching, maybe. But hey, this Mega Pinsir team is actually doing its thing, you know? I'm enjoying this Mega Pinsir team. I really am. But like I was saying, I think that having Pelipper would be fantastic. I think it would be actually really good. But who would we remove? I really would like Goldengo here. I don't know. I have to think about this. But Pelipper would slap here. These maybe Pokemon gimmicks are too garbage if you actually know how to deal with them. Yeah, but that's any gimmick Pokemon, right? If you know how to deal with them, I mean, it's always a GG. I can always carry Roar for Smeargle Milk teams. You know what? That is a good point. What music is this? This actually slaps. This one is Sherman Rose. The music was like this? I didn't remember this. Okay. Look at this music. This music slaps, actually. But Roaring Incineroar is actually really good. Now, look at my opponent. Now tell me, what can my opponent do against Goldengo Iron Hands or Goldengo Landorus? I don't see much that my opponent can do. I could even go Goldengo Pinsir, man. And I am going to go Goldengo Pinsir. But what can my opponent do? 270. I am slower than Max Speedy Tram though. I can always go just a Terra Fairy, right? Make it rain, Mega Evolve, Close Combat, the Heatram. Because if I get rid of Heatram, I'm in a really good position. Roaring Moon is also really annoying. And it actually threatens Pinsir quite well. But let's test this out. I want to get rid of Heatram. Heatram is really annoying. Tailwind. Eruption. This move is not legal. What? Why is this here? Eruption Heatram is not legal. What? That is not cool, man. This is not even legal. I'm kind of sad about this one. Whatever, right? Whatever. I don't think it's a legal move, right? If anyone in the chat wants to correct me. Heatwave onto the Fini doesn't do anything. The thing about Misty Terrain, this is really good. Because Misty Terrain actually protects us from status moves. So Among Us here, I mean, it doesn't mean anything to me. It was a thing in Gen 5. I know, but since then it just isn't legal. I don't understand why they kept that. We have a miss, but it was an event Pokemon. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's really weird that here we have that. But it's fine. I mean, I'm not. That is just completely fine by me. I'm just going to low kick the Heatram and Calm Mind the Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini does actually pretty well against my opponent's team, so I want to keep it on the team. Okay, so we don't accomplish much this turn, but we do accomplish a little bit. Now, I can see Gardevoir just going into the Hyper Voice, and Hyper Voice is probably just going to KO Iron Hands. Among Us can also Rage Powder, so we don't have a clear answer into this, right? But I think I just want to let my Iron Hands go down, I think. Tapu Fini is really bulky, so I'm actually just going to keep spamming Muddy Water. Oh, we still survive. We do hit the important target, but we don't get an accuracy drop, which is unfortunate. Hyper Voice did 21% to the Tapu Fini, but that is fine. I can just switch Among Us in. I could go for another Calm Mind, but I don't want to be greedy. I need to keep attacking. We have the Wiki Berry here, which did not activate, but is going to activate now. Now, if my opponent attacked, which it didn't, but that is fine. Now, I can just do exactly what my opponent is doing, right? Expanding Force, missed the Among Us, Spore the Tapu Fini, that was smart. That was smart. I trolled. I kinda trolled. I didn't expect my opponent to do that. We have to take one turn of sleep, so I'm just going to keep Muddy Water. We do get the Gardevoir to sleep, which is really important. So we are in a similar position right now, right? I can just support the Diancie, and I'm just going to go for the Muddy Water. Terra Grass Diancie. So that is odd. It's not... that is kind of odd. I'm just going to Rage Powder and just keep Muddy Water. Yeah, we wake up, Muddy Water. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but... Oh, of course. I'm just playing so bad. Maybe because it's not Dex. I gotta go now. Oh, thanks, Meta, for coming to the stream. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we are in a really awful position. Really awful position. I think my opponent has us pinned. Kinda just wanna go for the Pollen Puff and bring Iron Hands, right? Okay, so we are still... Ooh, critical. Okay, so double crit. Okay. Okay, the double crit sealed the deal. Okay. That is fine. That is fine. But now we really don't have a way to come back. Now we lose this one. Okay, double protect it. Another once again, it does make sense, but we can't KO the Diancie, right? We can't KO the Diancie, so it's pretty much over. Damage Storm, yeah, my opponent can just keep spamming Damage Storm. So yeah. Tailwind is also up, which is unfortunate. I can just bring Tapu Fini in and bring Lando again, but this doesn't accomplish anything. I think this one is a complete GG. Yeah, I think it's completely over. Just going to Moonblast and protect. Yeah. I mean, it's GG to my opponent, right? He played really well. But I don't think we have a chance here. So I am going to forfeit out of this one. Unfortunate, but that Diancie cooked me. That Diancie did cook me. But yeah, I think this one will be the last one of the stream. So let's see. My opponent has a pretty unique team. But like, and when I say unique, it's actually extremely unique. I don't see why not. Like, why not bring Among Us and Lando? Right? I don't think this is bad. Intimidate is going to do a lot. We are also a really fast Lando. But yeah, unfortunate. That one caught me off guard. If anyone wants to join in the channel, if you are enjoying the streams, if you like my videos, you can always subscribe to the channel. I'm just plugging this in because we are actually going to be ending the stream after this game. So once again, all the support is greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. Oh, my opponent didn't even show up. Okay, so we can actually do one more. We can actually do one more. Okay, when we see a Deoxys and a Mega Swampert with Pelipper, so this is troublesome. But we have Among Us. Oh, it's Terrafire. It's fine, it's fine. We have Iron Hands and Tapu Fini. We are going to be fine. We are going to be fine. Trust in the process. Trust in the process. I kinda just wanna go on the offense. I just wanna calm down the Tapu Fini. We are going to be seeing... I can actually just do this. Terragrass Calm Mind. Yeah, this was really safe. Really safe. Electro Shot onto the Tapu Fini. Exactly. So, really safe. And we do a lot of damage to the Arcaladon. It should be a KO next turn. It should be a KO. I'm just going to keep low kicking, and I'm just going to press Muddy Water to avoid the follow me, the redirection, right? And we should be fine. We should be completely fine in this scenario. So let's see. Man, this music slaps. I have to save this playlist. Do we get the accuracy drop? We don't. I mean, this is not terrible, right? How much damage did we do with Muddy Water? 18%. That is not ideal. And low kick did 42% to the Indeedee. think I'm just going to Heavy Slam the Indeedee and Moonblast. I don't see why not. No, no, I can just do this, right? We should KO. Oh my god, for real? Oh, this is not real. This is not real. Living with 1 HP. That's unfortunate. That is really unfortunate. But once again, we are still in a good position. I kinda just want to bring the Goldango here to tank a psychic attack, right, from the Deoxys, and I'm just going to Moonblast our Caledon. We should be fine. Yep. This was exactly what I was talking about. And we are completely fine, right? Now, we can just go for the double protect. This is going to remove the possibility of my opponent going for another expanding force, right? So it's really important. And we also remove the sincere potential from my opponent, which is also really important. Now, Goldango will just get KO'd by the Sincere, so I'm just going to switch it, and I'm just going to Muddy Water. If we get KO'd, if we get the Tapu Fini KO'd, I mean, it is what it is. I still think we are in a good position, though. Still think we are in a good position. Thunderbolt, yep. Sincere Storm. Okay, so the Tapu Fini still goes down, but this is fine. This was a good switch-in from us, so I'm really happy with this. Now, I want to U-turn the Deoxys and fake out the Lando. Seriously? Okay, so this was not in my plan. We are still fine. We should still be fine. Just going to Mega Evolve and just double edge the Lando. And I'm just going to Wild Charge the Deoxys. This is just a little bit unfortunate, right? Oh, and it predicted the Mega, of course. Of course. And it's Sash, and we lose Iron Hands. So we were in a winning position. Now we are in a losing position. Oh my god, this always happens. This always happens. Unfortunate, unfortunate. What can I do here? I don't think we win this, like, at all. I'm just going to Rage Powder, and I could go just for the Nasty Plots, but the Deoxys can just go for the Expanding Force, KOing the Mungus in one hit, right? I have to just go on the offense. And Sincere is just going to hit both, right? Yeah. Oh my god, man. We were so close. Okay, one more. Unfortunate. Like, come on, that Deoxys only had attacking moves. Man, that's a little bit sus. Little bit sus, but that is fine. I like the Iron Hands and Lando. Let's see. It was a little bit unfortunate. I think I have to Terra Water. Terra Water Fake Out. And just go for the U-turn, right? Nasty Plot. Oh my god. I can just bring Pinsir in and we should be fine still. Now I am just going to low kick the Insane and just Mega Evolve, feint the Alakazam. Okay. Okay, I understand. My bad. My bad. I'm just going to to Muddy Water. There's nothing else I can do. My bad for existing. I didn't even saw Indeedee in the team preview. That's so unfortunate, and we lost Mega Pinsir for no reason. Really unfortunate. Incineroar does come in. Protects, okay, but we do get a free Nasty Plot. So that is pretty nice. We are still in a good position, right? I can just go for the Protect and just Moonblast Alakazam. To be honest, we should be able to KO it, by the way. Right? Yeah. Exactly what I was thinking. Okay. So we solved one issue. We solved one issue. Meowscarada is in, but we are a +2, make it rain. That should pick up the KO. And I'm going to bring... the Among Us. Follow me, that is fine. Knock off. I mean, this is fine. Right? We do a little bit less damage, but we still get a double KO. Which is just perfect, right? We are still at +1. So I'm really happy with the situation right now, right? So, yeah. If my opponent brings in the Sceptile, it's the Insane. What keeps me from just going... Yeah, for just going another Nasty Plot and switch the Lando? What keeps me from doing this? You know what? Sometimes I should just... I shouldn't talk, you know? I just shouldn't say anything. I shouldn't have said anything. Expanding Force Indeedee. Oh my god. Okay. It's fine, it's fine. But we are getting cooked by some best of one cheese. I'm not gonna lie. What is my opponent going to do? And we do KO the thingy, which is nice. We bring the Among Us in. Muddy Water Mist, which is not good. This is fine. He's going to bring the Sceptile, I presume. Yeah. And Incineroar once again. Kilowattrel. So... this is not good. Because I can't protect Tapu Fini. Just going to bring the Lando. And just Pollen Puff. I could just Pollen Puff the Lando, right? Competitive, yeah. Oh my god. How didn't I think of this? What? Why didn't I think of this? That is so cool. I can't touch the Kilowattrel, by the way. I can't touch the Kilowattrel. I'm just going to keep stopping Tantrum. I am just going to lose the Fini here, but I think I just have to switch the Among Us out. Air Slash, yep. Leaf Storm does get the KO. Ah, unfortunate. Unfortunate. Yeah. Another loss. We are at... what, 13? What? I'm just going to Polyamp of the Sceptile. Damn, that is... What's our rank? Oof. 1365. That is kinda rough. But I like this guy's team. I like that guy's team. Mega Sceptile with Kilowattrel. That is kinda cool. The opponent was cooking. The opponent was cooking. I actually shouldn't do any more games. Just one more. One more. This is the last one. This is the last one. This is going to be the last one. Sandstorm team with Serledge. So we are going to be seeing a Mega T-Tar. Mega T-Tar, Mega T-Tar. This is fine, right? Lando and Goldangle? I think it's fine. A Pokemon that is also really good in my opponent's team is Tapu Fini. So that is also something to consider. Okay. We can just go for the Terra Water. I really don't mind. Go for the Stomping Tantrum. And switch into Tapu Fini. I don't think we will lose anything by doing this, right? The Stealth Rocks are not going to be doing much. So that's also something to consider. But I'm still thinking that Mega Sceptile team was kinda cool. Kinda cool. Icy Wind, I mean, okay. That is fine. Stomping Tantrum onto the Serledge just gets the KO, so my opponent is in a deficit right now. It really is on a deficit. Tapu Lele comes in. Tapu Lele comes in. Okay, I can just bring Goldango. And I could actually just set Calm Minds with Tapu Fini, no? You are faster than Lando right now. So I could also just protect, bring the Goldango on Tapu Fini's slot. Thunderbolt onto the Goldango, okay. Now I bring the Fini and the Amoonguss. I remove the terrain. I have to do it in this order. I could also just go for this. But I do like... Oh, but Among Us is useless with Tapu Fini. So this is just better, right? T-Tar, okay. I could have... Maybe I shouldn't have... Maybe... I can just fake out Iron Bundle and Calm Mind with a Fini, right? This is fine. But I should have just make it rain. I didn't see that angle. I for sure thought I could get punished there. And I think that is fine. I think that is... We are still in a fine position. So fake out onto the bundle. This is really important. Low kick on the Iron Hands is not going to be doing anything. Because now... I want to low kick the T-Tar. I don't know if my opponent will let me though. I'm just going to heavy slam the T-Tar. And Muddy Water. Heavy slam the T-Tar and Moonblast Iron Bundle. My opponent... Wow, playing really recklessly. I could have just one-shotted the other T-Tar. What? That is absurd. You let me do this. That is absurd. Wow, okay. I guess that's fair. That's fair. I should have just played for the out. We still have our Wiki Berry, and I think that at +1 we should survive an expanding force. Maybe. Right? Let's see. Psychic. Oh, we do survive. Okay, so we are super fine right now. Yeah, like this music is so good. But I don't think we can. I don't think I can have this music play. Oh, that is so unfortunate. But I don't think I can have this music play. I have to switch it up. I'm just going to put. I'm just going to put the playlist again. I'm just going to heavy slam the Tapu Lele. I could just Muddy Water. Yeah, we survive. Tapu Fini is so good, man. Tapu Fini is... Okay. I take back. Everything I said, I take back. I'm going to bring the Lando. And we should be fine. I'm just going to Stomping Tantrum and... Do I protect? Is it worth it? I think it is. I think it is. I think this is completely worth it. Yep, we got to go onto the Excadrill. It was not Focus Sash, which is really odd. But hey, I'm going to take it. Now Tapu Lele is on the field again, but now we have a countermeasure for it, which is just going U-turn and Muddy Water. And we should be fine. Ornleech. I forgot we were pure water. Oh. Are we fine? Oh, we are completely fine. We are completely fine, fellas. We just go for the double protect here. We are completely fine. Hey, can you battle me? I think I can, Nergan. I think I can. I think I can. Off stream, I will do it. Because I am going to end the stream. So, what are we going to do now? They are actually faster than everyone. So I'm just going to make it rain. Do I Mega Evolve? You know what? I'm going to play this safe. Okay, my opponents didn't care. But playing safe was our saving grace. So, yeah. It's GG. GG's my opponent. Good game. I think this is going to be the last one. Dang, we are so close. So close. To hitting a high ladder. Oh, database is unavailable. Oh, that is sad. Let me just check the national decks then. I kind of want to see national decks doubles. Oh my god. We are going to take... I mean, we are not... Okay, we are not that far. 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 But yeah, I'm going to end stream. I am going to battle you. And it's just going to be one best of 3. Can it be like that? Oh. Top viewer streamable.com. I'm going to deny that. We were getting spam on Twitch. I didn't see that. What was your name again? It's EX Gonkash. EX Gonkash. I'm going to send you a message. No, I can challenge you, right? I'm just going to challenge you. But yeah, I'm just going to end stream and we will be doing that. So thank you all. Thank you everyone for joining the stream, for supporting the stream. But yeah, I am just going to go now. Thank you so much for supporting the stream once more. I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Bye!